Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Esther and welcome back to my channel. Today we are trying a 3-day vegan cream cheese versus a 3-minute vegan cream cheese. So I have this book. And I've had this book for a really long time, but I have never made a single item from it. But I was flipping through it the other day and it piqued my interest because it's artisan vegan cheese. As I was flipping through it, all of these cheeses are cultured and dried, much like the art of cheese making. It's not just like sticking some things in a blender like you see on Pinterest recipes, which can be good and I've definitely done and used many times. But this is like a whole science to making cheese. And the first thing you see when you get to the recipes in this book is something called Rejuvelac, which is basically making your own cheese cultures from grains. You ferment the grains for a long time, it grows the bacteria, because in normal cheese making you would add cheese culture to it, which is made from lactic acid, which will then separate the proteins from the whey in milk, and you'll drain the whey and the cheese curds will remain, and then you'll use the cheese from there on out. But Rejuvelac is basically the vegan form of a lactic acid culture for cheeses. And most of these do require Rejuvelac, and it's a long process and it looks not the easiest, but I'm sure I'll be trying it at some point. But today's recipe is the cream cheese, because the cream cheese uses yogurt, because pre-made yogurt that you get in the store, just like a vegan yogurt, I have this Forager cashew milk yogurt, has probiotics and live cultures already in it. So this is what's going to be providing our cultures for cream cheese, because cream cheese is a soft cheese and it doesn't need as much culture as, say, like a hard shreddable cheese would. So as I'm to understand, this yogurt is what's going to give us our bacteria needed for culturing and not molding, you know, that it's going to culture, and that's what's going to give the sharp flavor of a cream cheese or a cheese is the cultures. So I have a recipe from this book, which is the cream cheese, and we're going to culture it for 2 full days. It actually has less ingredients than the 3-minute one, and most of the time it's just letting it culture at room temperature. And we're going to see that compared to one that basically you add lemon juice and apple cider vinegar to give it the sharpness, instead of letting it sit and culture age. So it's just a quick, easy one. So we're going to compare the two and see which one we like better. This like authentic cultured one or the easy, quick one. I have a cup of cashews. It's been soaked for about an hour now. I started with boiling liquid. You can soak it for 8 hours if you start with cold liquid, or you could just leave it in the fridge for up to 2 to 3 days soaking. A lot of people will just keep cashews soaking because they use them frequently. So I'm not including the cashew soaking time. So 1 cup of soaked cashews, drained. 1/4 cup of water. It didn't specify cold or hot, so I'm just gonna go with room temperature. A tablespoon of our Forager organic plant-based cashew milk yogurt. I've heard you can use any other unsweetened, they should all work. A tablespoon of that, and just a pinch of salt, and that's it, because we're gonna let it culture. And if you're gonna add anything, like people make strawberry cream cheese or like a honey pecan cream cheese, chives, herbs, whatever you're going to add to it, that'll happen later. After it has cultured, you'll just mix it again with whatever else you're going to put in it. And just like a pinch of salt, I put a little bit in my hand and in there, and we're going to blend this until it's smooth, and that's it. Then we're going to put it in a container and we're going to let it culture for 24 to 48 hours. And I'm going to go with more of the 48-hour version just to give it the maximum amount of time that the book says, and we'll try it at its peak. So this might take a minute. We got to get it as smooth as like humanly possible.
1 eternity later.
Okay, so the blending took about 10 minutes, mostly because with the small amount of ingredients in this giant blender base, there was a lot of like pushing and starting and pushing and restarting the machine over and over to get it down there, because I wanted it to be really smooth consistency, you know, cream cheese consistency, no lumps, no anything like that. I wanted it to be as smooth as I could possibly get it. And I found that having it on like literally the lowest speed on the blender, just like a 1 or maybe a 2, was the best, so it didn't just like flip up all of the time and then you couldn't blend anymore. So now it's pretty smooth, and this is half of a recipe because I didn't want to make like 2 full cups of cream cheese and then end up not liking it if I don't like it. But I do have high hopes. I just wanted to, like, you know, not waste ingredients just in case. So I'm sure with the 2 cups it would blend a lot easier in this blender base, but just keep that in note if you are just going to be like making 1 cup of this cream cheese. It's hard to blend. So if you have like a NutriBullet, I have a high-powered blender, so if you have a high-powered food processor or those little like NutriBullet, I think, or anything like that that just has like a cup or like 2-cup container that you can blend in, would be better for a smaller recipe. But anyway, okay, I have a clean container. It's nice and dry. We don't want anything to infect our cheese, cream cheese. We want it to be nice and ready. I mean, nothing like canning, but just a nice clean container, nice and dry. And I'm going to scoop all of this cream cheese into there, and it's just going to sit on our counter for like 48 hours. And it's supposed to culture. It's supposed to get a, you know, sour taste to it, like cream cheese would have. And we're gonna hope for the best. I only have the highest hopes. I do wish this was a little bit smoother. Maybe next time, if I just really like this, the bigger quantity will help smooth it out a bit more. Or I'll just do it in my mini food processor. So not 100% satisfied with the look of it, but that doesn't mean the flavor or like the mouthfeel of it is going to be bad necessarily, just because it looks a little grainy. Because a lot of pictures of like the fast ones also just like look a little grainy, and I think you're not going to get anything that's just like 100% smooth that's this thickness when you're using nuts. Like, I've gotten some smooth nut cheese, like cheese sauces for mac and cheese, but usually those are the ones that include like potatoes and carrots and other things that will blend like really, like potatoes. Let me tell you, potatoes blend in a very interesting way. Like, their starch coagulates and they get really just creamy. Which, pro tip, if you're making like potato soup or like any soup really that you want to feel creamy but not have milk in it, blended potatoes. There you go, bro. Okay, so I think I got all of it from this blender. Enough. And I have it in my container. I have a sealable lid. It's airtight, so it's just gonna go right on there. And this is going to sit for 48 hours. And when that's done, I'm going to make the 3-minute vegan cream cheese with you. I actually have the cashews in the fridge now, because like I said, I just keep cashews in the fridge. But I'll make the 3-minute cream cheese with you once this is done culturing, and we're gonna see which one's better and judge them.
Later.
Hello and welcome back. So it has been 48 hours, 2 full days since we made this cream cheese, and it has sat on my counter at room temperature culturing for 48 hours. And to me, I haven't opened this yet. I haven't smelled it, haven't tasted it, anything. I've just brought it over here. And it looks like it's aerated a little bit. Like, all of these little bubbles and pockets are all along the side, which wasn't there before. It was like in there completely flat. But that does make sense to me, because culturing is basically forming good bacteria to give it the kind of slightly acidic taste that a cream cheese would have. And of course, bacteria releases gases. So having these little air pockets doesn't concern me that much. It was just an interesting little thing I noticed. So if you try this and you get air pockets, don't be concerned. And now we're gonna do our 3-minute cream cheese. Just really easy, really quick, and see how it compares to this 3-day cream cheese. So I have 3/4 of a cup of cashews in my food processor here. They've been soaked for a long time. Like I said, I'm not counting the cashew soaking process because that's literally just sitting them in your fridge with some water. And it's going to have 2 tablespoons of this yogurt. I'm using the same Forager cashew milk yogurt because I want to make it as equal and fair as possible, taste-wise. But it is like double the yogurt from the other one. So, actually a little over double because it's less than a cup of cashews because the other one was a cup of cashews. And I think it was just a tablespoon. So, a little more than double the yogurt, and that's what's going to give it its probiotics and part of the acidic taste. But we're also adding both lemon juice and apple cider vinegar to give it its tartness. So we're gonna go 1/2 tablespoon of lemon juice and then 1/2 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. I'm a little concerned because it just seems like it'll be like very tart, but I'm not sure of that, you know? I haven't tried it yet. When I was vegetarian, I loved cream cheese. Like cream cheese was it. Like we would have bagel days and I just loved it. So I'm excited to see if these compare in any way. I'm going to make them both plain and try them both plain because I feel like that's going to be the most fair taste test equivalent to each other. But then, if I like them both, I'm probably going to add some other things. Like, I'm probably going to use, like, you know, those frozen sweetened strawberries that you can get, like, in the freezer section by the juice to make a strawberry cream cheese, and this walnut honey cream cheese that I had at Panera Bread is, like, literally so delicious. So, I'm going to try and make that. Maybe, like, a garlic and herb one, too. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully we like both of them. Okay, so I just added like a pinch of salt, maybe like 1/8 of a teaspoon. It just says a pinch, but I'm gonna blend this until it is as smooth as possible.
A few moments later.
Okay, so it still looks a touch grainy, but I think this is as smooth as we're going to get it. I kept shoving it down and like reblending it, but it kind of has just stayed like this for a couple rounds of that now. So I think this is the consistency we're going to get. And who knows, maybe it'll be great. But the first thing that really happens when you open up this container is you like smell the apple cider vinegar. So if you don't like apple cider vinegar, maybe just use entirely lemon juice or maybe just leave it out. I have yet to taste it, so I'll let you know what I think. But yeah, you get a really like strong apple cider vinegar scent when you open the container. It doesn't look too bad though. I think it's like pretty smooth. I mean, maybe as smooth as you can really expect from like a cream cheese that you make in a food processor. So that is the cream cheese. That is this one. This was like 3/4 of a cup plus the liquid ingredients. And it makes a decent amount of cream cheese. And I mean, this is me halving the recipe because I wanted to, you know, not waste ingredients if I didn't like it. So there's that one. And this is also halved. And I'm going to open it now for you. We're going to see what it smells like, what it looks like. It smells normal. It smells good. Look at it. It definitely has ray. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to stir it a bit. I'm gonna just, it's a little smoother than this one that I just made, but it still has a little bit of grain. You might just always end up with a little bit of grain from like a nut-based thing. But it smells good, so we're gonna taste the two of them side by side, and we're gonna see which one is better, and I'm gonna give you a ranking and see if this one is worth it, see if that one's worth it. Okay, so I'm back with my 2 cream cheeses. This is the 3-minute one, and this is the 3-day one. This one is darker in color and has gained quite a bit of volume for about the same amount of ingredients that went into it. So the 2 days definitely gave you more cream cheese, and I'm really hoping it's going to be delicious. They both look about the same amount of like grain left over. So we're gonna just try them, see how smooth they are, see how delicious they are, see if they're worth your time. We're gonna start with our 3-minute one, and of course, what's more iconic than a toasted bagel with your cream cheese? I'm gonna put quite a lot because I wanna like taste it for you. So let's go. It's good, but it's not cream cheese. Like, I would eat this for sure. Like, if you needed something quick and easy, it would probably taste a lot more like cream cheese if it was like perfectly smooth, or maybe if it was chilled a little bit. I don't know. It's just not like giving me everything that a cream cheese could possibly give me in my life, but it is good. A solid like 6 out of 10. You know, it tried its best for what it is. It's a quick, easy cream cheese. You know, if you need something, I bet this would be great with like other flavors, like, you know, strawberry or chives or garlic, whatever you decide you want in your cream cheese. I bet it would be pretty good with that. But, you know, 6 out of 10. Don't hate it. It's pretty good. And now for our 3-day cream cheese. I'm a little nervous for this one. It smells fine. And I mean, you know, anytime you leave something on the counter for like 2.5 days, you wonder a little bit. But here we go. It's good. Okay. I went through a lot of thoughts while eating that. The first thing is the sourness that it took on, like on its own. Cause it's not an apple cider vinegar or a lemon sourness. It's an actual like cultured sourness. So it's very different than like typical vegan cheeses. And I just, you know, I haven't eaten cheese in a really long time, or cream cheese in a really long time. So it's a new flavor, I would say. Like anytime you have like a cheese or a sauce or whatever, and you're like, let's put lemon juice in for the acidity, let's put apple cider vinegar in for the acidity. You're like, yeah, you get that acidity, and it's good. But it's not cheese acidity. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? This, I also like a little tiny bit wish it was like perfectly smooth. I really just need that smoothness out of cream cheese. But for how it is, for what it is, I bet you could get this smoother, like I said, with a different, you know, different equipment than I have available to me at the moment. You could probably get it, you know, super smooth. But it doesn't taste like cream cheese. It doesn't. It tastes like cashew cream cheese. And it has this, you know, flavor. I do like it better than this one, but I don't dislike this one. I give this 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 stars. Amazing. You should do this, because for what it gets you, its flavor is really good. I mean, it's cashew, obviously, not milk, but it is really good, and it gives you a lot of volume. So like, if you're really into cream cheese and you're going vegan, this is what you should do. It was super easy. You just put the ingredient and like let it sit on your counter in a clean container. I didn't have to do anything. It didn't go bad. Nothing was wrong with it. And now I just have to stick this in my fridge and I can use it whenever I want cream cheese. It's quite weighty too. I mean, it's worth a try. If you like it, if you like cream cheese, give this a try. I bet you're going to enjoy it. So, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up down below and hit me up in the comments if you try this cream cheese or have any other amazing, wonderful, incredible ideas on how to make vegan cream cheese the most delicious, or how to get it smoother. If you have like the perfect recipe of cream cheese, let me know. And subscribe so you can see more content like this every single Wednesday. And I love you so much. Goodbye.